low gear when you're sparring. We all love it, right? It's something that we find very freeing and that we want to do, but is it actually helping your training? Hi guys, Ted Elsner, Sacramento Historical Fencing Academy. So, a question that kind of pops into my head periodically, and something that, especially while I'm wearing my period attire, really comes to mind. When we say we want to do some low gear training and we get together with our friends to do it, especially once all of this is done and we're able to get back to it, we usually mean by that something like, oh, I'm going to wear a t-shirt, maybe some light gloves, and a fencing mask while I fence with my friend, or maybe even not a mask. And we consider that good for our training. Now, for early period stuff, there are arguments about how effective that may be depending on the level of attire that was worn during the period. But if you're doing anything like we do that's mire, and you're doing low gear training while wearing a t-shirt, and you think that's more accurate than wearing a historical fencing doublet, something like a spec officer jacket, or an actual period doublet, I got news for you. It's really not, right? My doublet that I'm wearing right now is multiple layers of fabric. It's a thick outer wool with a interfacing lining and then a layer of linen underneath, and then a shirt of linen that's quite thick and has multiple layers. I'm easily as padded in this as I would be in something like a spec officer jacket. If I were then to throw on a leather jerkin over the top of it, as you'll see in a lot of Myers plates, I'd actually be very well protected. I'm talking on the level of a spec light AP jacket, maybe, kind of thing. And so when you're doing your low gear training and you're wearing nothing but a t-shirt, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. You're not actually practicing and training in the same way as the period attire. You're creating artifacts that wouldn't be there. So for instance, I'm not particularly worried about a light cut to my arms, right? A slice on my arms isn't going to hurt me. Even a light strike, I'll feel the impact force, but the odds of being cut through multiple layers of fabric, unless it's just a perfect strike, are going to be really, really low. Whereas if you're just in a t-shirt, well, sure, yeah, absolutely, right? Same kind of thing. Similarly, when we talk about like dagger practice, you can see when wearing period attire why it is that, attacks are going to come in above, kind of the neck, or if I back up a little bit, down below up into the exposed lower belly, trying to stab or cut through my jacket at this point, my doublet, you're going to have a really hard time with that. So that's another thing to kind of look into with the gear that you're wearing, right? If you want to do light training, get yourself something like a spec officer jacket, or maybe one of the Jess Finley ringing jackets, a light pair of gloves, and then no mask. Now, I'm not actually advising you to fence without masks. That's not safe. But if you decided that this is what you want to do, stop fencing in a t-shirt. At the very least, throw a sport coat on. Throw something so that you have those couple of layers of fabric, that you respond appropriately. Now, as I noted in the video that we put up the other day, the clothing should fit you, right? Period attire was bespoke. It was made specifically for you. Yeah, your wife, your mother, your sister, some family member might have made your shirt for you, but a professional tailor, more likely than not, was the person that actually did the work on your doublet, and they fit it to you. They drafted the pattern specifically to your measurements, and so it probably fit a lot better than any of the modern clothes that you have. Then get out there and practice in that, right? So that you get a better sense of what it's really like, where your hands are a legitimate target, your face is a legitimate target, but, maybe other parts of your body, not quite as open to attack. So something to think about, guys, just a quick little video. What do you think, right? Do you think that fencing in a t-shirt is a good way to go about kind of recreating historical fencing? Or are you just doing, a modern sword sport where you're just kind of playing around with swords, which is fine. If you just want to play with swords, awesome. Lightsaber also can be a great choice. But if you're going to do historical fencing, even if you're not going to wear period attire, be real to the restrictions and to the realities of what period attire allows as legitimate targets. Anyway, guys, stay safe in your training. Hopefully in your area things are looking better and you might be able to get back to your club really, really soon. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.